This is Aaliyah Brixton, and I want to welcome you back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about title versus bonds, and I know this has been a super big thing lately in the media, but guys, literally growing up we were fed these stories about a Prince Charming coming in and swooping us off of our feet. There was this idea that we would be married with children, literally white picket fence, very much give an American dream by the time that we were 28. Everything literally revolved around wanting to find love, having this intense emotional connection to a guy, and oftentimes, rather than not, our validation as women were found within men and how they perceived us. And y'all already know, 2022, we ain't rocking like that no more, alright? So, women recently have literally been taking that narrative and putting a spin to it, and we're uncracking the codes of manhood and finding ourselves to be way happier than ever before. So in this video, I want to focus on two main points, guys. Number one, fairy tale love does not exist. So when I say fairy tale love does not exist, you guys instantly should know what I mean. Disney literally sat here, like I said in the intro, they told us that we're gonna find a Prince Charming. He is gonna come in, he is gonna swoop us right off our feet, and we are just gonna be so in love. Y'all, we gonna be so in love with this man that anything that he does for us is gonna literally be like, oh my god, we're literally gonna be like Belle and the Beast, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Princess Diana and the guy that she was with, I don't even know him, Rapunzel and the prince. That is literally the idea of love that we have as kids growing up. This, again, super duper fairy tale lifestyle. And let me tell y'all something, okay, the older you get and the more into chick flicks you watch, baby, you realize that fairy tale love does not exist. It is literally more like a chick flick. It's giving more teen mom love than anything, y'all. And you guys know exactly what I mean when I say teen mom love. Like, you just get older and you realize life is completely a poop show, and it ain't worth a lot of the stuff that we thought it was worth. Another thing that comes into play, I would definitely say now, today, with social media and in this, 2022 era, is, y'all, these girls be getting on the internet and they be posting their Birkin bags. They be posting their, Dubai trips. They travel in the world. Very much my man. It's giving my man is top tier. It's giving my man does everything I say. It's giving my man gets me Venus flowers. It's giving my man does everything for me, I do nothing. Very much what the girlies is calling the soft life ever right now. Y'all, please keep in mind that social media is literally what you choose to post. It is what you choose to share to the world. You literally control the narrative. The same way how these Disney creators and producers control the narrative of the story, you control the narrative of what you post on social media. Like, literally, y'all, let's get into it. Like, the whole situation that happened with Ari and Moneybag when, they were like, oh my god, he got Ari the car. And then, boo, the people is talking about, baby, the car is not being paid for, allegedly. And, again, that's that fairy tale love, this idea that, your man has to spoil you, he has to do everything for you, and if he's not doing that thing, he ain't nothing. Now, guys, also, what I want to say is that there is this super unrealistic idea of what relationships and love should look like. Relationships literally alter depending on the person and the situations that are in the relationship. So we have to stop looking at what one person is going through and comparing it to what we're going through, because babes, what that girl is going through might not be what you're going through, and what you're going through might not be what she's going through. Again, we have to remember, as humans, people have this tendency of wanting to look at what the other person has and wanting to yearn for it and wanting to be like, oh my God, I need that. And it's like, girl, she probably just got beat up behind closed doors. Like, you don't know what these people are going through. And, you know, no disrespect to any of the girls that are going through domestic violence, because it's not anything to play with. It's not anything to joke with. But again, you know, guys, like, please let us stop looking at what other people have and just focus on what you have at hand. Like, understand your situation, know your situation, and alter your situation based off of your situation. Now, point number 2 is that this is literally something that we all know. Women were raised to be emotional beings, whereas men were raised to be super duper logical. Guys, like, literally, men were raised to be logical and women were raised to be emotional creatures. And I just don't understand how people thought that that would work in the real world, where it's like, hey, like, Dad, if you're coming to me and you're telling me that, like, my, you know, body is my temple and I shouldn't just let anybody come into it, and I should take care of it and I should treasure it, but in the same breath you're looking at, you know, my brother, and you're telling him like, oh, like, these girls are for everybody, like, it doesn't take long to figure this out and figure that out. How do you think that we're supposed to coexist in the world when we are of age to interact with, you know, our opposite sex? Like, it literally just doesn't make sense. And I think that that's something that we have to crack down on, not necessarily as like a race, but just like as people in general. Like, if you're gonna raise women to be emotional, please raise your boys to be the same way. Or if you're gonna raise your boys to be logical, just raise women to be logical. Like, I think that people should really just go into situations 110% understanding what it is and what it's about, rather than going into situations based off of emotions and just feeling like, well, this is what the world told me, so this is what I should do. I do understand that a lot of women who do think logical kind of get like the boot, because, you know, what guy wants a girl that actually got some sense? None of these guys want girls that have sense, y'all. They really be out here wanting you to be real, you know, bimbo bambo, but we're not going for that. We're not going for bimbo bambo. We are better than bimbo bambo. We are like, we're fake bimbo bambo. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna act like we're slow, but y'all, we really not. Like, boy, I know what's going on. Boy, I know the tea. Boy, I got the drop. But you would never know that I got the drop. Do you understand what I'm saying? You gotta treat them like that, more or less. So I also want to touch on the fact of like, so I know you guys probably know about like the whole Impact Atlanta show. I have not seen not a single episode, y'all. I don't know nothing about the show. Nothing. I know like a little bit of influences on there, cool, whatever. But Jada recently actually mentioned, like, in an interview, and by Jada we are talking about Miss Jada Waiter herself. She mentioned in the interview, like, you know, from that Impact Atlanta show, that like she actually slept with Little Baby on the first night, because like, we're grown and there's really no time limit on like when you should sleep with somebody. And I just say this in all just to kind of like say ultimately that this clip right here,
fall in love and the sex is whack.
I ain't falling in love until I get that. That's why you the first night. On the first night? My BD first night, 100%.
Hey, you didn't tell us that one.
definitely plays a role into the whole idea of like teaching women to think with logic rather than teaching them to think based off of their emotions. Because it's like, let's be real, if this guy wants to dog you out, he's gonna dog you out whether he waits 6 months or 3 weeks. Like, people know what they want to do with you from the moment that they see you, and you just kind of have to let them, like, you have to let them do it. At the end of the day, like, dude, like, at the end of the day, you literally just have to let people show you who they are, and stop trying to make excuses for that person. Stop trying to be like, no, they only did it because, like, you know, this, that, and the third. And it's like, No, they did it because that's what they wanted to do, and they showed you who they are, and now let's move on. Like, moving on. Like, you don't have to have people in your lives forever. People are not always meant to be in your lives forever. And I think the earlier that we realize that, the better that we can actually become as women. When we realize, like, girl, you don't need to be with that man for 10 years just because you felt like you needed to be with him for 10 years, girl. If Billy Bobby come and he doing better than that man, girl, you better leave that man and you better go be with Billy Bobby, baby. Like, stop playing with him. Stop trying to do everything off of love, and start doing a lot of stuff off of logic and what makes sense and what, like, you know, matters. Like, bro, the love is gonna come. Like, you'll learn to love that person if that person is doing everything that you need them to do. Like, let's be real. Like, let's literally just be real on that whole situation. The other thing that I would definitely say that we need to, like, you know, y'all, this whole Diddy thing, the whole Diddy and Young Miami, we get it. The people are super confused because they are like, what is Diddy doing with Young Miami? What the hell is really going on? Y'all, Diddy got a whole gang of girls and they just living life, okay? They doing what they want to do. They turning up and they having fun. And, you know, that's another thing about the whole title versus bond situation. Like, if you want to be technical, you want to look at what Young Miami and Diddy have, you know, they may just have that bond where it's like, listen, I don't want a title on what we have, and I'm okay with knowing that we have this relationship where, you know, we might be intimate with each other and potentially other people, allegedly, but we understand what we have, and everybody doesn't have to understand what we have. And I think that's very big. The older that we get is that sometimes we so badly want people to understand what it is that we have going on that we kind of lose sight on what we really want in the situation that we're in. And I was having this conversation earlier with one of my friends, and it's like, guys, honestly, like, know yourself, know the situation that you are in currently in life, and ask yourself, are these the things that I'm looking for? Are these the things that I want? And if those things do tell you that you want to be in a relationship, then yeah, maybe you shouldn't look for this bond. Maybe you do need to look for somebody that wants a title and wants to be serious. But if those things are telling you, like, hey, right now I just want a bond, and whatever stems from that bond later on down the line is what it is, then 100% take the bond, enjoy it, and whatever it becomes later on down the line, that's what it's going to become. Like, I'm always a firm believer in what's meant to be will be, and what's for me is for me. And I don't think that, you know, by rushing into things you make it any better. I think that sometimes rushing into things, when we as women are looking at things from an emotional standpoint, it kind of causes it to deteriorate a lot faster than what we intend for it to actually become. And, you know, with that being said, I kind of just want to, like, close out this video by saying, like, you know, like, guys, honestly, let's try to just make things make sense. Like, no one is saying that you should be emotionless and have, like, no care in the world and just be, like, hella wild and willy-nilly, unless that's what you want to do. And if it is what you want to do, then I 100% support you, because, girl, do what the hell you want to do. But, ladies, I really just want us to start thinking with logic rather than emotion, and just understand what we're doing before we do it. Like, stop making super emotional decisions and just, like, really sit down and say, listen, these are the pros and these are the cons, and if I go route A, this is what's gonna result, and if I go route B, this is what's gonna result. Like, I really want us to stop thinking off of emotions. When you allow somebody to control your emotions and, like, really get into your mind, your body, and your soul, you're allowing them to have way too much power than what they actually deserve to have. And we're just better than that. And, you know, it's like I said, oftentimes people are brought into your life for a season with a reason. That's what I like to call it, a season with a reason. And take them for what it is and keep it moving. Like, don't force anyone to show you more than once why they don't deserve to be around you. And honestly, guys, let's just keep it at that. Like, nothing more, nothing less. So we're signing out, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Later.